not have any form of policemen protesting in Kaduna State at all. If it did happen, I believe it should have been in the pages of the newspaper showing policemen on demonstration or on strike.
He, however, said many police personnel were at the command headquarters to verify issues concerning their salaries following the new system of payment by IPPIS.
Kaduna happened to be one of these trial states, and each time there's time for salary, they go to verify their name.
He said having worked so hard to entrench peace in Kaduna State, police personnel cannot indulge in activities to breach the peace as they are mindful of the consequences.
There's their consequences, and so they wouldn't do that. And they pass through colleges and they know the law, and they will not break this law, especially, I keep insisting, especially in Kaduna.
So at the time of visit, police personnel were seen on their duty post. In Kaduna, Amos Nanyebe, NT News.
Joining me now in the studio is the first Public Relations Officer, CSP Moshood Jimoh. Thank you for joining us, Officer.
Thank you for having me.
Isn't the usual becoming unusual when policemen will have issues and then protest? What's going on?
Thank you so much. I think there's some misinformation here because in the earlier of today, like you have seen the Commissioner of Police in charge of Kaduna State speaking about it, and we earlier issued a press release that there was nothing like a protest by policemen in Kaduna or in any other location across the country. They went on inquiry because normally we have what we call the mechanized salary section, where issue of salary are dealt with. So if you have underpayment, you have overpayment, because this is an IPPIS platform that the police have been enrolled. So you have to report such to the authority. And for those who are salary have not been paid, as I speak with you, 8 state commands have been enrolled on the IPPIS platform. And we actually have some challenges between August and September. It's not that salary are not being paid. Salary of this command were paid, but few individuals, personnel that have their salary not paid. There are some that are overpayment, there are some that are underpayment, went and complained, just few of them.
But
and
then
because
coming
people
out
around, that's what I'm trying to get at. So people coming around see policemen gathered in the MSS, and the officer in charge of the mechanized salary section did address their problem and let them know that the matter has been taken up by the first secretary.
But how do we put a stop to things like this, to gatherings like this?
No, it's usual in police command that you have men, when you want to muster them for parade or you want to move them for duty, you gather them. Even where they are going for special duty, equally gather them. So there's no cause for alarm. We want members of the public across the Federation to be aware that no single policeman went on protest anywhere in the country. And for people to not to panic, to go about their lawful business activities without any fear or apprehension. The matter is dealt with. And I equally want police personnel across the Federation to know that there's no any delay in payment. Police salary are paid as at when due and on time.
Thank you very much for joining us. We're glad to hear that. Joining me in the studio now is the CSP Moshood Jimoh. He was here to discuss the alleged protest earlier in the day by police officers in Kaduna. Now, moving on, the government and people of Yobe State have expressed formal appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for containing the Boko Haram insurgency and restoring peace and stability in the area in fulfillment of his pre-election promise. Governor Ibrahim Gaidam, who delivered the message to the Nigerian leader, however, made a case for more support of the federal government towards the ongoing rehabilitation, resettlement and reconstruction processes. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president also granted audience to the governors of Sokoto and Jigawa states.
Before the intervention by the Buhari administration on coming to power, Yobe, as one of the frontline states affected by insurgency, has had a fair share of destruction to lives, livelihoods and critical infrastructure. Governor Ibrahim Gaidam said with the restoration of relative peace across the state, honor should be given to whom it is due, hence his thank you visit to President Muhammadu Buhari.
For the past 2 years or so, we have not had any attack by the insurgents in Yobe State. All our IDPs have returned to their bases and resumed their normal businesses.
Efforts, he said, are now intensified towards the resettlement, rehabilitation and reconstruction of the damaged infrastructure, which is beyond the capacity of the Yobe State government.
Some of our people lost their livelihoods, their farms, homes, etc. The federal government, through the presidential committee, may assist them to reconstruct or rebuild their houses. so that they can start their normal life.
Governor Gaidam made a case for the reimbursement of 13 billion naira estimated to have been expended by the Yobe State government in support of the fight against insurgency when it lasted. His Sokoto State counterpart, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, is more concerned about the prospects of hydrocarbon deposits in the Sokoto Basin, which he believes is sufficient enough to last up to 30 years, and pleaded with President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure exploration.
I have had cause to brief Mr. President of the need for the federal government to continue to support that endeavor, which we believe will help in not only the more provision of oil and gas that we believe is very much in abundance in that basin, but also in bringing about agricultural revolution in the area.
President Buhari also received Governor Mohammed Badar Abubakar of Jigawa State, where strategies towards deepening the economic diversification drive away from oil were discussed.
We have been successful in reducing the cost of fertilizer. Then there are other inputs like agrochemicals and fungicides, as well as mechanization on agriculture. So we want to look at that angle too, to see how best we can reduce the cost of input to the farmer, so we can make farmer competitive.
Governor Badaru Abubakar used the opportunity to debunk media reports on alleged plan by the Jigawa State Assembly to impeach him, describing them as baseless, unfounded and mischievous. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
A 10-member National Monitoring Committee on the Kano-Katsina-Maradi Trans-Border Corridor along the Nigeria-Niger international boundary has been inaugurated in Abuja to ensure improvement in trade liberalization and food safety in the Ecowas sub-region. Gabriel Udu reports that the planned corridor initiative was prepared in 2014 and financed by the World Bank.
The objective of the K2M initiative includes the creation of an enabling environment to bolster trade and improve food security in our two countries, encourage free movement of people, as well as strengthen cooperation in the fight against corruption and irregular migration.
That was the Minister of State Foreign Affairs giving out specific terms of reference in line with Ecowas protocol.
Arising from the success recorded in the K2M, the governments of the two countries, upon a recommendation by the NNPC, decided to open 3 more corridors, namely Zindar, Daura, Jigawa and Kano, then Tawa, Sokoto, Zamfara and Kebbi, and Difa, Zindar, Yobe and Borno.
The benefit of the Kano-Katsina-Maradi cross-border cooperation trade corridor is that the collective desires of the people of the two countries, particularly those in that area and generally along the border lines, would be collectively addressed.
Having heard from the chairman of the National Monitoring Committee, it is also expected that the committee will ensure reduction in taxes and reduction in checkpoints along the corridor. From the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
And to discuss this initiative with me is the Director General of the National Boundary Commission, Dr. Mohammed Ahmed. Thanks for joining us on the Network News.
Thank you very much.
Now, opening up this corridor, what impact does it have on Nigeria in terms of security, trade and bilateral relations with Niger?
The corridor has been established, as you heard, basically to improve food security by means of facilitating trade across the border in these areas. Kano is known for commercial activities, Katsina is known for that, and also Maradi, which is in Niger Republic, is that. And all these 3, one region in Niger and 2 states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, have been along the well-known trans-Saharan trade routes that supplied goods and services to communities of these areas even before there were Niger and Nigeria. And therefore, facilitation of trade would open up all the opportunities that are associated with that. Our traders, our transporters, our grain farmers, our grain sellers, and all the hog of the activities of people relating to these areas, these activities relating to food and other commercial activities would be done. And in addition to that, there is the element of the fight against corruption, and then also the fight against illegal migration. Apparently, those not the major areas of migration across Europe, across the Sahara, but then these areas have been known to be transit zones for illegal migration.
Obviously, we're gaining a lot from what you've just said, but what would it cost Nigeria to fully implement this?
It will cost Nigeria and Nigerians a lot of goodwill, because the vogue in the world is that of cooperation. Before, in the distant, not too distant past, we were talking about South-South cooperation. And here you are having cooperation with an immediate neighbor. Not only an immediate neighbor, a critical neighbor, a neighbor that has supported us, that has been with us for a long time. Don't forget, Nigeria and Niger are twin brothers, not even, perhaps even seamless twins. There is nothing that is different between a Nigerian citizen and a Nigerian citizen in outlook, in focus, and so on.
Thank you very much, DJ. We wish you all the best in this initiative.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Muhammad Ahmad is the Director General of the National Boundary Commission. And to other reports now, regional cooperation have been identified as critical to the maintenance of international security. It is in view of this that the Directorate of Peacekeeping and Regional Security of the Ecowas Commission is set to undertake a command post exercise for a more proactive Ecowas standby force. Olajide Bedlo has the details.
Since the establishment of the Ecowas standby force in 2004, a command post exercise to validate the task force headquarters was conducted at Bamako, Mali in 2008. In 2011, the strategic and operational planning and preparation for multidimensional peace support operations was conducted in Accra, Ghana. The Mali After Action Review Process 2014 specifically recommended the review of the ECOWAS standby force concept, structure and training requirements so as to ensure that the force was better placed to meet emerging security threats in the region and beyond.
This conference is essential to the peace and development of the ECOWAS region as it assesses the capability and capacity of ECOWAS standby force to conduct strategic and operational level planning for multi-dimensional operations.
A project in support to ECOWAS peace and security architecture and operations is currently on its way to benefit from a financing decision from European Commission with the sum of 17 million euro.
We are hopeful that your expertise in the area of peace support operation and the preparation and conduct of the exercise will definitely guide the work of ECOWAS Commission.
The initial planning conference is aimed at confirming the draft exercise specifications and consolidate on the draft initial exercise plan. From the National Defense College in Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The federal government says it will ensure fairness in the trial of Boko Haram suspects, which commenced today in about 3 detention centers across the country. This follows the arraignment of about 120 Boko Haram suspects in Kainji, Niger State. This in addition to about 33 ongoing trials at various Federal High Court divisions across the country. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewo, who is monitoring the trials, says the list of suspects is a product of months of screening by the Ministry of Justice and security agencies. The trial is holding at the military cantonment, Wawa, in Niger State. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is calling for more private sector participation in the economic development of Nigeria and Africa. The Vice President was speaking at the Financial Times Africa Summit in the United Kingdom with the theme, What Makes Africa Work? Gideon Ifade reports.
Assessment of experts on world economy notes the gradual growth in the African economy with rising GDP and therefore focused on how the different countries, businesses and investors are adapting to the different environment that faces the continent. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the world needs not search for long to see what makes Africa work.
Today, we can demonstrate with clear examples that what makes Africa work are the ingenuity and the resilience of the people, especially 70% youth population, leadership and good governance, allowing the private sector and markets to function, focusing on infrastructural development, and of course the incredible opportunities that abound.
Describing Nigeria as investors' delight, the Vice President explains efforts of government to ease the burden of doing business in the country, emphasizing the enormous opportunities the economy offers, both at federal and state levels.
Following the 70% success rate achieved in the first phase of the ease of doing business reforms, we recently embarked on a second national action plan, which will have 11 areas of focus and will run for 60 days from October 2017. The Nigerian government is intent on bringing about rapid, sustainable, and inclusive growth in order to improve the lot of the dynamic and hardworking people of Nigeria.
And from investors' perspective, Aliko Dangote says investors are now having much confidence in governments in Africa, with obvious efforts to transform the continent and the lives of the people.
So really, we have a very good, cordial relationship with the government, where we have this industrial council. And, you know, we talk freely, we always advise.
Nothing as assuring as when the leadership, the number one or number two leader of the country, meets with the investing community and give them assurances. And those assurances are again now corroborated by the private sector.
If you do not tell your story, nobody is going to tell your story as well for you.
On display inside this room are publications based on researches on African countries, especially this one titled Unlocking Nigerians' Potential, the Pathway to Well-Being. In London, Jide Onifade, NT News.
Just to let you know that you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Time now for our first break. Up ahead in the news, wife of the president in collaboration with governors' wives to improve on the well-being of women and children. Don't go away.
From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria went through a horrifying civil war. It didn't matter who was wrong or right. Everybody suffered. Those who fought that war say it should never happen again.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail, could all have been in vain.
The words of our elders are full of wisdom.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Madam.
Welcome, sir.
Give me a bar.
Okay.
Correct. One or more. Same.
Okay.
For everybody, thanks for I will for me, I will for you, I will for everybody.
With MTN, I will for you every day. Now jolly oh! Anytime when you recharge from 100 naira, MTN go summer you 4 times your recharge. Where you fit take call, text, or browse. Meaning say you will get 4 times the value. Yay! Just dial *888 star the recharge pin hash to enjoy this better woo. This offer now for only MTN prepaid and postpaid customers. Terms and conditions they show.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Hey, now who they here? My name now Mr. Shortcut. I dey mind my money. Now cheap one I dey buy. Than that, we say. Now to buy cheap one. Hey, now one kind cable for my yard. a cheap building material where we take build my office. I think say I dey save money. Office building collapse and fire burn my house.
You don't see what happened to Mr. Shortcut? Well, Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, don't ready for action and say enough of pain, loss and wastage. And if you see product where no dey correct, call the SON office way near you or SON help desk. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
Availability. Check. Confidentiality. Check. Integrity. Check. Transformation in action. The 6 years of Governor Abdul Aziz Abubakar Yari in Zamfara State clearly manifest good governance and foresight. In fact, transforming the agrarian state to the promised land. Welcome to Zamfara, a state being governed by a visionary and dynamic leader whose magic finger is touching every aspect of human lives. No wonder Abdulaziz Yari is being referred as agent of Buhari's change mantra. Yari is bringing development closer to the Zamfara people and the nation at large. Zamfara, the pride of the nation. This message is brought to you by Iowa Media Group.
This is the game I've been waiting for, and I get a headache. But I remembered Mom's advice.
Son, don't let anything stop you, okay?
When headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex. Because Sudrex acts fast to relieve headaches. Sudrex, win your day.
You don't ever buy recharge card for one network. Come which day if you use them for another one. True, you know say if you use that recharge card, they recharge any network and do many other things. Just buy one card. One card now the orange and blue recharge card. They write one card for everybody. One card they recharge every network. Cable television, electricity, and many other things. Plenty of move day. You fit win 1 million naira. 1 million naira. Generator and plenty other things. From now, reach October 2017. Ask your recharge card seller.
As we mark our 46th anniversary, the Industrial Training Fund extends its profound appreciation to all our stakeholders, especially the federal government, the National Assembly, ministries, departments and agencies, employers of labor and the organized private sector. Our unwavering support individually and collectively have ensured that as we approach golden age, we are still relevant and contributing significantly to the development of national manpower specifically and driving national policy goals that require human capacity interventions in line with the vision of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. As we celebrate this landmark, we reaffirm our commitment to re-engineer the Nigerian environment as we continue to provide cutting-edge interventions for our clients nationwide. Once again, thank you for standing by us. Announcer Sir Joseph N. Ari, Director General and Chief Executive.
The new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people.
You're welcome back to the Network News. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, to respond to the allegations of non-adherence to due process in the awards of contracts. The report.
A statement from NNPC explained that, contrary to the allegations by the Minister of State that major contracts were never discussed with him or the NNPC board, only the approval of the NNPC Tenders Board, the President on his executive capacity or as Minister of Petroleum or the Federal Executive Council are required. The NNPC statement, which quoted sections of the law, said both the crude term contract and the direct sale and purchase agreement have no specific values attached to them to warrant the sums of $10 billion and $5 billion claimed by Dr. Kachiku. The NNPC listed the contracting process of cooperation to include provision of NNPC Act, Public Procurement Act 2007, procurement method, and threshold of application and composition of tenders board as provided by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Circular of March 2009. The NNPC Delegation of Authority Guide a Supply Chain Management Policy and Procedure Documents, as well as the NNPC Ethic Guide, are the procedures for contracts in the cooperation. The cooperation also listed approving authorities for contracts as contained in the SGF Circular of 2009 to counter the Minister of State's allegation. Having clearly established the legality and compliance with the due process, the NNPC dismissed the allegations as baseless and in fact only 2 of the projects mentioned were contracts, while all the others were procurement. Meanwhile, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASN, and the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, have pledged their unalloyed support for the transformation stride of the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Maikanti Baru. The union specifically commended the anti-corruption efforts of the GMD restructuring of the corporation, which is already yielding positive results. The union, as a solidarity visit, acknowledged the stability brought to the NNPC and the sector at large. The union specifically commended the anti-corruption efforts of the GMD at restructuring of the corporation, which is already yielding positive results.
The Ecowas Community Court of Justice says it has determined 6 out of 37 cases lodged before it in the 2016-2017 legal year. Chief Registrar of the court, Tony Anene-Maido, disclosed this at the ceremony to mark the commencement of the 2017-2018 legal year of the court in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
This gathering at the Ecowas Court of Justice marks the end of the 2016-2017 legal year and kickstarts that of 2017-2018. With the theme Current Trends in International and Regional Commercial Arbitration, some of the speakers stressed the need to encourage alternative dispute resolution among economic agents, especially on commercial transactions.
Unfortunately, the court is here to exercise its arbitration mandate, as it is still awaiting the approval of its rules of arbitration by the Council of Ministers.
The court is not well known to Africans. Talk less of West Africa alone.
The guest speaker at the occasion said the arbitration protocol relating to arbitral powers of the Ecowas Community Court of Justice should clearly define the arbitration agreements.
The regulations concerning arbitration within the court should be adopted and implemented. So that's the way the court can render effective this arbitral function.
We're going to unite and we're going to trade and we're to do business together. We need to understand clearly what all the rules and regulations and the laws are.
As the court begins a new legal year, President of the court, Justice Jerome Traore, assured litigants that the court will continue to serve as home of freedom and direct access granted to individuals and institutions in the sub-region. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The critical need to finance and properly implement policies and programs geared towards facilitating youth employment in Nigeria has been emphasized. This formed the core of discussions during a roundtable between Senate President Bukola Saraki and various agencies of government, civil society and youth development organizations. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports.
The roundtable has as its main agenda to chart a new course towards addressing youth unemployment, which participants agreed has economic, political and security implications.
We would like to understand why those root causes continue to exist, despite the effort of various governments.
We have graduates that are not prepared for the labor force. So we need to look into our educational curriculum. Every single person today that does not include technology in what they're doing, they are so going to be so left behind.
Each government has a form of social investment program, but there is no continuity. And once you don't have continuity, you can't easily track and monitor effect of value over time.
What we need to address in this country, and that is why all previous projects failed, national reorientation. We need it in this country.
Other banks should be mandated as part of their responsibility to come on board and give startups to the youth.
Other issues deliberated upon include over 70% arable land in Nigeria not being cultivated, as well as policies not being in sync with population growth.
It is clear that there is a disconnect between those who are implementing these programs and what is happening out there in reality. And also there is a disconnect too, of course, on what we are doing as government, also particularly in funding a lot of these programs. If 250 NYSC graduates are coming out each year, we're not hitting 30–40%. The question is why? What do we need to do to be able to achieve that? Access to finance, a few laws, I think that are going to improve that.
The Senate President also expressed optimism of the speedy passage into law of the existing vacancies bill, designed to make it an offence for ministries, departments and agencies to fill job vacancies if such are not publicized. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
Campaign for the well-being of women, children and adolescents in Nigeria is taking a new dimension as wives of governors and are to work with the wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, on her Future Assured program as champions. They will advocate reproductive, maternal, newborn, child and adolescent health plus nutrition at the grassroots. The signing of a commitment paper sealed the deal. Chimdima Ndubisi has more.
Nigeria ranks as the second contributor of under-5 and maternal mortality globally. Of concern to health experts is that these deaths are from preventable diseases such as malaria, pneumonia, diarrhea and malnutrition. Compounding these issues are lack of health personnel and the disparity in their distribution within the geopolitical zones. Again, it's lack of equipment in most health facilities attributed to poor health funding.
These are staggering statistics, and we all know the strategies to address this problem.
Our vision is to make 10,000 of the available 30,000 PSCs functional in the life of this administration. We know this is a big area that needs huge investment. We have kick-started the journey. State governments are expected to key into this agenda.
Committed to being the voice for maternal and child health, scaling up nutrition, girl-child education and adolescent health, wife of the president, through her Future Assured program, is strengthening advocacy for reproductive, maternal, newborn, child and adolescent health plus nutrition, so as to reach out to states and local governments. That's why wives of governors have been conferred the title of chief advocates for this cause. With these two working documents, advocacy and communication strategy, as well as monitoring and evaluation result framework, wives of state governors can now mobilize families on actions they can take to improve the health of mothers and children. They are also to influence investment in high-impact intervention areas in the health sector.
We will all walk out of here with more knowledge and more power to tackle the various issues in our states.
I want to sincerely pledge our support to ensure that Nigeria and indeed our various states will be a safe place as far as health is concerned.
The development partners are also not left out in this partnership. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the government and people of Ghana over the loss of lives due to gas explosion in Accra, Ghana. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, indicates that the President, in a telephone conversation with his Ghanaian counterpart, Nana Akufo-Addo, offered his heartfelt condolences to those who lost loved ones and friends and prayed for a speedy recovery for the injured. It adds that the president told his Ghanaian counterpart that his personal thoughts and prayers, as well as that of all Nigerians, are with their Ghanaian brothers and sisters as they mourn their loved ones. It further notes that the president prayed that Ghanaians, who are known for their extraordinary strength and resilience, will overcome the disaster and rise above the losses. Similarly, 2 persons have been confirmed dead following petrol tanker explosion at Tafa Kantago local government area of Kaduna State. Mukhtar Abubakar reports that while one of the victims died at the scene of the incident, the second person died at the Suleja General Hospital.
Although the exploded fuel tanker was removed from the scene of the incident, the aftermath left 10 hotel rooms, 12 shops attached to the hotel, scores of temporary shops, a trailer head, and 18-seater bus burnt. One of the victims, Daluta Abubakar, who is receiving treatment at the General Hospital Suleja, said the incident happened when a fuel tanker was trying to maneuver its way in between parked tankers, got punched by the body of a trailer, causing the spill of fuel.
People were siphoning the fuel passing close to my shop. That is how fire engulfed the shop with me inside.
As he was pouring out, the driver now with his motorbike and jumped and ran away.
We were able to move 6 to the hospital at General Hospital Suleja, while 1 died instantly.
We received about 11 victims from the fuel tanker explosion, but we had to refer most of them because of the severity of the injuries.
Apart from the incident that often happens as a result of the indiscriminate parking of trailers and tankers, it also causes gridlock on the road. Mukhtar Abubakar, NTA News.
In yet another sad story, tragedy struck this morning at Ngboshimene community, a suburb of Port Harcourt in Obiapo local government area of Rivers State, with 12 persons confirmed dead by yet to be identified assailants who shot and burnt some victims while they slept. Kingsley Amajiri reports that the residents of the area have been thrown into confusion given the recurring killing incidents by gunmen in the area.
Barely few days, the Nigerian military authorities launched the Operation Crocodile Smile in the Niger Delta region. 12 persons were reportedly killed in an early hour shootout this morning that left many wondering what could be responsible.
The incident reportedly took place in the early hours of the day between 1 and 3 a.m. Health workers, Red Cross officials, and police contingents have already taken over the area, enumerating and removing the dead bodies amidst wailing by relatives of the victims.
In the night, unknown gunmen came and entered and started to kill people.
Community Development Committee Chairman Ono Hamade suspects the incident could be a reprisal court attack.
I see that these Icelanders are coming to look for the Greenlanders, and if they come, they don't see them, they kill the people they see.
The State Police Commissioner Zaki Ahmed said the command has already launched investigation into the matter, confirming the deaths of 12 persons.
Investigation has commenced. You can see move around with the CID, and we have interviewed some eyewitnesses. There is no hiding place for them. We'll get them and they will be brought to book.
It will be recalled that the community chief was also killed in the same community not too long ago. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Nigerian Navy hands over vandals to EFCC. These and more stories as we now join Ademola in our Lagos studios. It's over to you, Ademola.
Thank you, Sean. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. In line with the level of dynamism and pace of change in the political and economic space, the need to enhance strategic communication towards promoting good governance and integrity has been emphasized. Former Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Dr. Tony Iradia, stated this at a forum in Lagos where he bagged fellow Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Salami reports.
In entrenching democratic governance towards sustaining social and economic development, the need to create a policy that will drive communication industry wild and enhance value chain with a view to project the nation's image in good light remains sacrosanct. Former Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Tony Iradia, says Nigerians must be patriotic, hence the need for a change in attitude. He described the lack in tracking identity and adequate communication education as been to true representation of the country's image.
One of the issues in Nigeria is the issue of identity. There's a problem with tracking identity. And I think that the more the Public Relations Institute does about this, the better for the nation.
So it is high time we regarded this nation as the best, as indigenes. As professional body, we don't joke with the reputation of Nigeria.
I will continue to work hard. I will encourage people to always work hard. There is reward in hard work.
High point of the ceremony was the conferment of Honorary Fellowship Award, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, on the Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nike Akonde, and Dr. Omode Idris, while the Fellowship Award, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, was presented to the former Director General, NTA, Tony Iradia, for his outstanding performance in the media profession. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Oke Ikeogu has emerged winner of the 2017 edition of the NLNG Prize for Literature. Jennifer Igwe reports that the award was sponsored by the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas in Lagos.
184 entries were received for the competition this year. The works were pruned to 11, after which 3 emerged as finalists. Oke Ikeogu's work stood out among the 3 finalists, earning him the Nigeria Prize for Literature 2017.
What strikes it is the boldness of the project to write a sustained 100-page poem that is an argument in defense of artistry and freedom, and to do it in heroic couplets that sustain themselves and carry the argument, and then offer us the music as well.
World class, I can tell you that. Take these 3, the short list of 3, take it anywhere in the world. I mean, there's nothing for us to be ashamed about.
The 2017 poetic entries and others over the years, according to Kudo Eresia Eke of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Limited, are a reflection of the positive impact of the competition to the growth of literary works in the nation.
This prize has excited at least 1,500 new works to enrich our repertoire and library of literature in Nigeria.
The winner of the Nigeria Prize for Literature, Oke Ikeogu, will receive a prize of $100. Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
Duffield Primer PLC, makers of Indomie noodle brand, has recognized and rewarded Nigerian children who displayed remarkable acts of bravery in the face of hazards and unfavorable condition to touch lives and make the nation proud. The celebration of these heroes of Nigeria was also to commemorate the 10th edition of the Indomie Independence Day Award held in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara has the details.
The annual Indomie Independence Day Heroes Awards, management of Duffield Prima Foods PLC says, is a platform to celebrate exceptional young Nigerians drawn from across the nation.
As a brand, we will not stop putting smiles on Nigerian faces, and most especially because these children, out of their own volition, had done these wonderful acts. We will celebrate with them and we'll continue to stand with them.
When we give this award, it's not only about the money, it's about the recognition that they get even in the community. Now people will recognize them as Indomie children. And it's not as if we've given them award once and then we are done. We still stay in touch with them, ensure that they're doing well.
What is being rewarded are those values and those virtues. So those who say such reward will be inspired to approximate the same thing in their own lives.
In this year's edition, 10 children were honored for displaying extraordinary acts of bravery and determination to touch lives.
I was in physics class when I got the news that I have won. My joy knew no bounds.
I want to thank you to Duffield Prima Foods for their presence, their award, for poverty alleviation in their own way.
Since inception of the Indomie Independence Day Heroes Awards over 10 years ago, beneficiaries have been given scholarships and automatic employment by Duffield Prima Foods PLC.
In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. It's now time for us to take a break for some messages, after which the news continues shortly. Stay with us.
Where innovation begins. The Brain, LG Inverter Technology. Better performance. More energy savings. Now in the entire lineup at LG.
You don't ever buy recharge card for one network. Come which day if you use them for another one. True, you know say if you use that recharge card to recharge any network and do many other things, just buy one card. One card now the orange and blue recharge card. They write one card for body. One card they recharge every network, cable television, electricity, and many other things. Plenty of move day. You fit win 1 million naira. 1 million naira. Generator and plenty other things. From now, reach October 2017. Ask your recharge card seller.
The family of a corn has been taken hostage by an evil-looking creature.
When Amatem Fort appear, malaria run for cover. Amatem Fort I get some gel capsules, tablets for adults, and suspension for pikin. Amatem does not eat somebody and are very easy to use. Remember how Amatem Fort I get scratch pin to confirm the original, and I get some gel capsules. Amatem. Say no to malaria, yes to life.
Thank you, Mama.
Donna, wake up! Wake up, Joe! Why they call your man for dream? Oh, psychos way better dream. When my man don't arrange correct watches. You dey smell am? Now mangozi food dey smell like this, so. Eh? Oh, go charge you. Mangozi. I declare you. Me now.
Mr. Chelsea's seasoning tips and powders. They bring out the real taste of home for every food, like the way Mama they make am. Mr. Chef, the taste of tradition.
Mr. Chef. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis? Morphine! Presenting Mortise Power Guard. Its powerful formula kills malaria just fast. So, get Mortise Power Guard.
Dettol team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold? No! They spread through germs on your hands. Your hands collect germs that causes diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands regularly with Dettol soap to protect from up to 100 illness causes.
Wash your hands. What you have to do is wash your hands. Dettol soap every day. Wash your hands.
Thanks for staying with us on the Network News. River Goroyo overflows its destroying rice farms. Over to Nana Aisha in Sokoto with details. Hello, Nana.
Hello, Sean, and thank you for joining us here in Sokoto. Thank you for joining us. Sokoto State Government has embarked on a 2-week statewide fumigation exercise, part of efforts to eradicate malaria in the state. Jebi Ibrahim Ilela Dabore has the report.
The fumigating exercise will be carried out by more than 1,500 ad hoc personnel. Special advisor to the Sokoto State Governor for the Malaria Elimination Program, Chika Umar, said enough spraying machines and insecticides were procured for the exercise. He said the ad hoc staff will be engaged in active spray of all the hiding places of mosquitoes, such as gutters, ditches, and other dirty places across the state.
In the next coming week or two, we are going to start distribution of mosquito net, because we have already received about 2.9 million mosquito, and we are going to make a house-to-house mass campaign distribution of mosquito net.
Some people interviewed by NTA News commended the state government for the initiative and called for its sustenance. In Sokoto, Jebi Lela Dabori, NTA News.
Rice farmers in communities of Silame and Binji local government areas of Sokoto State have lost rice worth 100 million naira as a result of non-release of water from the Sokoto Rima River Basin Development Authority. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila visited the affected farmers and now reports.
Rice production is one of the major occupations of people of Silame and Binji local government areas in Sokoto State. Rice farmers in these communities produce rice in commercial quantity, and this is not unconnected with the water released to them from Goronyo Dam. When NTA News visited Silame, Gaukai, Maji, Falanji, among other affected villages, the farmers bitterly complained how non-release of water by the Sokoto Rima River Basin Development Authority has badly affected their crops. The farmers have lost 95% of their rice. Chairman of the Farmers Association in Silame local government, Malam Buba Numa, and other farmers pleaded with the federal government to come to their aid. They identified their inability to communicate with the Sokoto Rima River Basin Development Authority on when the water will be released as a serious problem. Several efforts to get the managing director of the Sokoto Rima River Basin Development Authority to comment on the issue proved abortive. In Sokoto, Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
Well, that does it here for us in Sokoto. It's back to Sheon in Abuja.
Thank you, Aisha. We'll take another short break now. We'll return in a moment.
The imperative of national unity and cohesion, plus the challenge of adult and youth illiteracy in national development, all under close examination on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, incisive, informative and educating. Join us.
The board and management of Nigeria LNG Limited with the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing invite the general public to the milestone flag-off ceremony of the construction of the 120 billion naira Boni Bodo Road project by His Excellency the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SANGCON, on Thursday, 12th of October 2017 at 11 a.m. Chief host, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike. Host Minister, Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN. Royal Father of the Day, the Amayanabo of Ancient Grand Boni Kingdom, King Edward Asimini William Perekule 11. Hosts, the Managing Director of Nigeria LNG Limited, Mr. Tony Atta, and his Deputy, Mr. Sadiq Maybornu. The 34-kilometer road project is part-funded by Nigeria LNG to the tune of 60 billion naira. Nigeria LNG Limited, helping to build a better Nigeria.
Straight A's mean better days. On those days I worry, my mind's so blurry. Studied every chapter, still can't find the answer. Always is the answer with its comfortable top layer and reliable protection with Super Gel. No stain, no gel. I know I'll get straight A's. Straight A's mean better days. Our future starts today. Stay happy always.
Now for only 150 naira, get the new Always Pocket Money Pack.
Fortified with nutrients to give you a stronger body and sharper mind with a gold mark of quality backed up by heritage. Peak has been building strong families since 1954. Peak, reach for your peak.
Your favorite Peak milk, now also available in field milk.
Give me the value pack. Helen!
You do great value shopping.
Absolutely. I'm a champion at getting value.
Then you must have bought the Harpic 200 ml.
Why Harpic when I have this?
Even after applying them 10 times, they won't give a sparkling clean toilet.
Impossible.
Challenge. Detergent and bleach can't give a sparkling clean toilet even after 10 times. But Harpic 200 ml gives a sparkling clean toilet at one go.
Wow!
Harpic 200 ml. Real deal. Now only 200 naira.
President Muhammadu Buhari has described late Lieutenant General Victor Malu, a former Chief of Army Staff, as an icon of professionalism, bravery and discipline. This is contained in a condolence message signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina. The statement, which expressed the President's heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Benue State, urges the bereaved family, friends and associates to honor Malu's memory by upholding his invaluable sacrifices for peaceful and a united Nigeria. President Buhari also commiserates with the Nigerian Armed Forces on the demise of a very distinguished and professional colleague who demonstrated incredible courage and leadership, including the very turbulent times in Liberia. Now let's take a look at Tuesday's weather.
Morning to partly cloudy skies across the extreme north, the central cities down to the inland cities of the southwest in the morning. And isolated cases of thunderstorms are not unlikely in some parts of the southeast inland as well as the coastal belt. Progressing into the day, the extreme north are expected to be sunny. And due to the increased energy level in the atmosphere, isolated cases of thunderstorms are probable across the central states down to the southern cities. And this is where we conclude the weather forecast for Tuesday. Join us again.
That's it on the Network News tonight. I'm Sheung Olagunju. Have a good night.